Here we go. Hi, it's Renee Buster with my REI secret weapon, or as I'd like to say, I'm your REI secret weapon. So we're studying the Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In previous episodes, all of the chapters have been read for you as audio recordings. This is the copy that I have. It is the first edition, May 2019. So it's first edition with bonus material. In a previous episode, I have worked through the chapter 2 homework out of the book, and we're going to continue studying the homework with the workbook, courtesy of Stacy Harris. And so in chapter 2, chapter named Faith, the second step toward riches, take this first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And that is a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Faith is the visualization of and belief in attainment of desire. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created, presumably reading this book. The object is naturally to acquire the ability to transmute the intangible thought impulse of desire into its physical counterpart, money. What do you think of my new filter? You know, I love your guys' feedback. So whatever you want to say to me about the filters, about my fake eyebrows, about my reading, my speed, I love the feedback. So make sure that you comment. Also make sure to, invite some people to the channel. By following the instructions laid down in the chapters on autosuggestion and the subconscious mind, summarized in the chapter on autosuggestion, you may convince the subconscious mind that you believe you will receive what you ask, and it will act upon belief, which your subconscious mind passes back to you in the form of faith, followed by definite plans for procuring what you desire. The method by which you develop faith where it does not already exist is extremely difficult to describe, almost as difficult, in fact, as it would be to describe the color red to a blind man who has never seen color and has nothing to compare with what you describe to him. Faith is a state of mind you may develop after you have mastered the 13 principles or steps discussed throughout this book. Faith is a state of mind that develops voluntarily through application and use of these principles. Repetition of affirmation of orders to your subconscious mind is the only known method of voluntary development of the emotion of faith. The meaning of faith may be made clearer through the following explanation of the way people sometimes become criminals. Stated in the words of a famous criminologist, when men first come into contact with crime, they abhor it. If they remain in contact with crime for a time, they become accustomed to it and endure it. If they remain in contact with it long enough, they finally embrace it and become influenced by it. This is the equivalent of saying that any impulsive thought that is repeatedly passed on to the subconscious mind is finally accepted and acted upon by the subconscious mind, which proceeds to translate that impulse into its physical equivalent by the most practical procedure available. In connection with this, consider the statement, all thoughts that have emotionalized or given feeling and mixed with faith begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent or counterpart. The emotions or the feeling portion of your thoughts are the factors that give thoughts vitality, life, and action. The emotions of faith, love, and sex, when mixed with any thought impulse, give it greater action than any of these emotions can do singly. Emotionalized thoughts mixed with faith immediately translate physically. Not only thought impulses that have been mixed with faith, but those mixed with any positive or negative emotions may reach and influence the subconscious mind. From this statement, you will understand that the subconscious mind will translate into its physical equivalent a thought impulse of a negative or destructive nature just as readily as it will act upon thought impulses of a positive or constructive nature. This accounts for the strange phenomenon so many millions of people experience, referred to as misfortune or bad luck. There are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They are the creators of their own misfortunes because of this negative belief, which is picked up by the subconscious mind and translated into its physical equivalent. All through the ages, the religionists have admonished struggling humanity to have faith in this, that, and the other dogma or creed. But they have failed to tell people how to have faith. They have not stated that faith is a state of mind and that it may be induced by self-suggestion. Faith is a state of mind induced by self-suggestion. Always remember to have faith in yourself, faith in the infinite, and faith is the eternal elixir that gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. The previous bullet point sentence is worth reading a second time, and a third, and a fourth. It is worth reading aloud. Faith is the eternal elixir that gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Number 2. Faith is the eternal elixir that gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Number 3, faith is the eternal elixir that gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Number 4, faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries that cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the element or the chemical that, when mixed with prayer, gives you direct communication with infinite intelligence. Faith is the element that transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the finite mind of humans into the spiritual equivalent. Faith is the only agency through which the cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by you. Important summary points. Faith is a state of mind that may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. All thoughts emotionalized and mixed with faith immediately begin to translate into a physical equivalent or counterpart. Your belief or faith is the element that determines the actions of your subconscious mind. There are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They are the creators of their own misfortune. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. The subconscious mind translates into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by faith. Take action. The following is a self-confidence formula. There are 5 affirmations that are important to absorb into your mindset and then apply to your everyday life. Find a quiet, private place and write each component of the formula, then speak each one aloud confidently. Number 1, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Number 2, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction that does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. And then there's a signature line, and underneath the signature line, the basis of this formula is a law of nature that no one has yet been able to explain. It has baffled scientists of all ages. The psychologists have named this law autosuggestion and left it at that. So I'm going to repeat the homework for those who didn't catch it the first time. And then I encourage you to get the workbook or pause the recording and take notes, however you choose to manage this, but I'm going to read it again. Number 1, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Number 2, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction that does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism. That's going to be a tough one for me. By developing love for all humanity. And I'm struggling with that one right now, too. People are really pissing me off. Had my window bashed in for no reason in my car last week. I'm in the movies. My babe, AJ, my girl, takes me to the movie. She wanted to see the movie. We went on Discount Tuesday. We go in. For the first time ever, I dropped my phone in the toilet. So, I'm having a meltdown, pissed off, complaining, bitching, moaning, all the way to the car. And then I get to the car and someone had busted in my window and dragged a bunch of stuff out onto the ground outside my car. Didn't apparently take anything, just made a huge mess and cost me, $250 to get my window repaired. But it was a real hassle because it took me almost 2 hours to get the paperwork done with the security guard and the cop. It was awful. So I'm really pissed off about that. And just people in general are pissing me off. So I'm going to have to work on deepening my love for humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. And I'm going to copy these paragraphs, as should you, sign my name as a contract with myself, as you should, and then spend 40 minutes a day, right? That's what they said. 30 minutes thinking about the person that you want to become, and 10 minutes developing your self-confidence. So 40 minutes working on your mindset. Yeah, 40 minutes a day. A lot of marketers, including Avon, say that you need to have 5 touches 5 times a week, but sounds like Napoleon Hill took it up a notch every day. Focus on it every day. All right. So like, comment, share, subscribe, encourage your friends to subscribe. We finally reached 50 subscribers. Thank all of you very much. We're going to continue with Thinking and Growing Rich. I think that the next book that we're going to explore is going to be Consciousness of Water. Or is it The Hidden Messages? I think the title is actually The Hidden Messages on Water, but it is a scientific exploration of why autosuggestion works. I can't wait to explore why talking to the water in our bodies encourages greater things from us than when we talk negatively to the water in our bodies, which actually destroys the H2O crystals. Very, very exciting stuff. my REI secret weapon. Peace out, friends.